Hello, guess who and guess what? Well, the guess who is me, Robbie Susan Chandler, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Quincy, Florida, right outside Tallahassee, Florida. I hold classes in my home, and if you live in the area or passing through, give me a call and pop in and join me for a class. So let's see what the what is today. You see this beautiful card laying down here. This card is made with the Floral Charm Designer Series paper, and I'll show you that real quick. It has several beautiful papers in it. In fact, here's another card made with a sheet out of here, and here's another card with the same design made with a sheet from this. So it's very versatile, very pretty, very flowery. That's why it's called Floral. And I'm going to show you one more example of a card made with this, and this is from the Traditions of Christmas paper. It's this pack. And I saw this piece in here and thought, well, it looks kind of busy, but I want to break it up some. So I added the real red in there to make it several layers. So that's several variations of this card. Now let's find out how to make it. Now back in the day, we did cards like this, but we stamped on our paper before we had a lot of designer series paper. And then we cut the 3 layers, and we called it triple stamping. But since there's no stamping, I'm just going to call it triple layers, because we're going to bring each layer up. All right, let me move this out of the way. You know who I am now. Okay, let's start with our base. And our base today is pecan pie, and it's 11 by 4 1/4, and we score at 5 1/2. So pecan pie is your base. Now the next layer is petunia pop, and it's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Now you see it's already cut, but I'm going to show you how I cut it. Now the dies I'm using today are the branching out dies, and they're graduated levels of these dies. I really like them, and I didn't show you the inside, but on the inside of this card I used it again for this greeting. And my greeting was stamped in Poppy Parade. This was cut out of Basic Beige, and the stamp set I'm using is the branching out. Wishing you a day filled with many happy moments, and here's the happiest birthday I used on the front. So everything is from this bundle today except for this one die. And that die, I'll show you quickly, is from Unbounded Love, and it's this little one right here, and I'm going to show you how to put that together in a minute. But let's go back to this. Okay, so we've got the branching out dies. Our paper is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and what I did, I laid the largest one and the fourth to the largest one. I laid both of them down at the same time and cut it. And I ended up with, let me take my tape off the back because I want to show you, I want to hold these together. So here are my layers. So this is the petunia pop layers. And then the next layer is the Floral Charm paper, and it's 4 by 5 1/4. And I used the same set of dies, but this time I used the next to the largest and the smallest, those two. And you just lay them on there and run it through one time, and you've got all your pieces cut. So this was like one run through for this and run through for that. You've got all the pieces there. Very easy. All right, let me remove these, and then I'm going to show you what I did. Let me get my, this is called Post-it note tape, and I really like it because it doesn't tear your paper and you can hold things together. All right, so we have our layers. Bring this over. Do a little burnishing of that. All right, so our first large layer I lay down on the card front, and I adhered the largest piece of the DSP to it, just like that. So that's our first layer. But then I took these two and adhered them together, and these two, and glued these two together. So I have 1, 2, 3 layers. All right, I've already put that over here on this one, so let me show you from here. Remove these. So here's the first layer glued down, and then the next layer I have a set of dimensionals. Now on this layer you only want one level. you're just going to pop it up one height of our dimensionals, and I'll show you why that's important in just a second. Okay, so there's our backings off. All right, now you got to make sure that your paper is all running the same direction, because see, on this one you've got flowers that are going up. You don't want to have your flowers going down. You may, but I don't want to. So here's the next layer. So this is layer 2. Now this layer I've already put one set of dimensionals on, but if you put this one on with just one, unfortunately I forgot, and it's going to look like this where it's not raised up. So what we're going to do is add 2 layers so it pops up a little more. So what I'm just going to peel off the backing on these. Now you may have some really extra thick dimensionals. I just use the Stampin' Up! Ones, and they're not extra thick. So let's just put one on top of each of these and pop them in. Like I said, if you don't do this, then it's all, that last level is all one level, and it just doesn't have quite the popped up effect that I wanted. It may be fine with you, you know, you can just do the single layer, but what happens is it's even with the layer below it, because they're on the same level, and that's why it just drops in with the same level. Okay, there we go. Alright, flowers up, here we go, and we're just going to pop this in right in the middle. Alright, so now I've got a little bit of height there, about the same as that one, instead of it being perfectly flat. I don't know if you can see the difference or not, but I kind of like it popped up a little bit more. Now back to this piece. This was stamped with Petunia Pop. This is 2 pieces, and it's really difficult to glue that down. So what I did, I put these 2 together, I turn it over, and I put dimensionals on it to hold it together. That way they're held together, and I've got the dimensionals to pop it up. So let's pop this up. Let's go right here. And then I just tied a bow out of this pecan pie. It's called Pecan Pie Center Stripe ribbon. And we'll just pop it right here. And I like to put my glue dots on each of these little legs going down, and then one on the knot. So there's our card. How about that? Now this is really a quick and pretty easy card. You just run it through, like I said, once with the designer paper and once with your solid color. And you can do all these, different varieties. And here's the Christmas one. So there you go. I hope you like this card. Maybe you'll give it a try. I know if you're like me, you've got plenty of designer series paper, and just go for it. Just match up your solid with it. So please like my video, share my video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you need a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I'd love to be your team leader if you'd like to be on a team. So until next time, happy crafting.